Welcome back for the next video. This video is on capturing your first responses to art in what we call a response journal. One of the best ways to analyze art is to write and capture those initial reactions that you have to a piece of art. One method is to create a response in a journal. So in our Blackboard course, there's a journal tool that I call Journal It, and it's a place you can record your thoughts on a particular art or chapters you might have read. You could also, just on your own, use your own electronic document or a traditional paper or pen version. The first thing we're going to talk about is that technique of free writing. Now, free writing by definition is writing as much as you can, as fast as you can, without stopping to think or make corrections. It is one way that we can respond in writing to something that maybe we want to capture ideas on paper. So again, you could use this when you finish reading a chapter or when you've read part of a chapter. You could stop, spend a couple minutes just writing as much as you can, as fast as you can, without stopping to think or make corrections, and you'll be surprised at what you record. The whole purpose behind free writing is to capture ideas on paper without all the limitations. Many of us are very critical of our writing, and we have gotten into the practice of stopping every few words or few sentences to agonize over what we've written. Free writing frees your mind, and it just allows you to capture ideas on paper. You don't worry about spelling, capitalization, punctuation. None of those things matter. It's just about getting ideas, that free flow of ideas onto paper. Now, as I said, free writing, can be used to evaluate artwork, but it can also be used as what I just described as a post-reading activity. And this is good in any one of your courses. You read something, you immediately go to a journaling situation and you free write and capture all the ideas that your brain is processing maybe from what you read. I also am a big proponent of using this as a pre-writing activity for any class. If you've got a writing assignment, when you get that assignment and you pick your topic, you can easily sit down and do maybe 5 minutes of free writing to just see what comes out on paper. Sometimes you're even lucky enough to come up with a thesis without even knowing it. I also believe that it's very important that you time yourself. If you are racing against the clock, in trying to beat your last time and how much you got onto paper, then you are less likely to stop and critically try to fix and think about what you've written. All right. When we talk about a response journal, it's important that we do some practice. And so after today's lecture, you're actually going to be doing some homework and practicing on using free writing to analyze art. I'm going to give you the instructions, and then I'm going to close out the lecture. So remember to stick around for not only the overview, but the wrap up. All right. So to do the assignment, you will go to our class in Blackboard and you will open the Journal It tool. And in fact, let me see if I can get to that place real quick and share that with you. All right, so when you're in our course in Blackboard, let me extend this viewing screen over. All right. Remember this tools section of our course. This is where the journalet is. You're going to click on that. You will notice there are 2 journals assignments that have been created. Okay. So you would click on, when it's time, you'll click on this first one. Remember that you must say create a journal entry. You will title the entry, and this message box is actually where you will do your free writing. Okay. Then when you are finished, then you are going to click the post entry, okay? Once you've done that, then you can go back into Journal It, and you can actually do that second one that was listed as well. All right, for now, let's get back to our slideshow. All right, so to give you some instructions, and by the way, you have these instructions in the What is Humanities folder inside the Getting Started module. So once you've selected that journal entry, the practice one, you're going to be looking at pieces of art. And I'm going to show you those in a minute as a preview. Okay. So you've got to pick two of the pieces of art or the images of pieces of art from the following slides that we'll be looking at. Okay. You pick whichever two it is that you are going to want to work on. You look at that piece of art, the first one, for a minute, and then you go immediately to that Journal It pre-writing practice one entry, and for 2 minutes, and you're going to set a timer. You're going to write using free writing, right? So you're going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and you're going to write as much as you can, as fast as you can, without stopping to think or make any corrections. You're going to be typing that into that message box. You will be writing whatever pops into your head, and you're going to start off writing whatever pops into your head about that one piece of artwork. But if you veer off topic and you start thinking about, ooh, I need a cup of coffee, you don't stop writing. You just keep recording whatever pops in your head, and eventually, usually, you'll get back on topic. When you're finished with that first piece of artwork, you'll go to your second piece, and you'll follow the same process. Look at it for a minute, then go to the practice free writing number 2 journal entry. Free write for 2 minutes, setting that timer. Write as much as you can, as fast as you can, without stopping or making corrections. And you want to try to write even more than you did on the first one in that 2-minute time period. Remember, you're trying to beat the clock. So let's take a look at the images that you're going to be choosing from. Here's your first image. Now remember, we have talked about things in previous lectures in this series about things like emotion and color and lines and medium used. So keep all of those things in mind from those previous lectures where we have mentioned analyzing art, and keep that in mind as you look at these art pieces. Here's your second choice. Your third choice, these are 2 photographs. And the first one, the one at the top, is a large photograph of the mall area around the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. And here's a close-up picture at that same event. So that's an option. Here's another option. Also think about things like, are these sculptures? Are they paintings? What are they? Here's another option. There's another option. In fact, that's your final option, okay? So remember, you're going to be choosing 2 of those that you want to work with as part of this assignment. And you take them one at a time, going to the journal and doing your free writing for 2 minutes. All right, so hopefully by the time you completed the homework journal assignments, you will have a better understanding of free writing and how to use that Journal It tool in our Blackboard course. By using free writing technique, you can help yourself analyze the art as we're doing today, but it'll also be useful for capturing what you know after reading a chapter or part of a chapter. You can use this again as a method or technique in all of your courses as a post-reading activity, or remember we talked about how you could use it as a pre-writing activity for an essay, not just in my class, but in your other classes. This will also be helpful when you go to your cultural art event. And again, we're going to be talking about that very soon, that part, those assignments in this course. But you could use it like after you've been to one of these events, and experienced it, it'd be great to sit down and do about 5 minutes of free writing just to kind of capture some of those initial responses and those initial emotions and reactions to what you've seen or done. So this concludes our lecture on the What is Humanities series. And this particular session has been about how to use the Journal It tool and how to use free writing and doing your exercise, your assignments on analyzing 2 of those pieces of art. I hope you have a clearer understanding of what to expect this semester.